It's nice to meet you.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being had. I have been listening to your music and I mean Miss Naya Ali. Oh my goodness. Uh hot, hot.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Seriously, your style is all your own, and that is so priceless in this industry,
Mm,
as you know. So,
absolutely.
so I mean, you just released a hard-hitting single. Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
All right.
I
Yeah.
did.
More life, less names. Now, the
Yeah,
title is super intriguing. So I need you to explain to me what that means.
absolutely. Well, more life, less names. I kind of look at it as like I learned throughout the years, throughout the last couple of years actually, that not everybody can have access to your own personal guest list. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, even if they had access before, sometimes just life, organically, naturally removes the people that are in that season, right? And there's no point to hang on to like the names and just, be
Yeah.
it by like the length of the relationship or the friendship or the whatever the partnership. Is just focus on more life, more blessings, more life, less names. Keep it.
Right.
It's like the circle is getting like smaller. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we're.
And in that circle, I can definitely relate to that because I mean,
Yeah.
just because you have nostalgic ties to someone doesn't mean that, they are allowed access to you. Especially, I mean, with all that you're doing, people tend to try to attach themselves, I'm sure, to you as they
Yeah,
watch your climb.
yeah,
So yeah, so smaller circle, more condensed, quality.
exactly, exactly.
Now is this the first of a next project? Are you working on something new here? We have something coming
Ma'am.
up that's brewing.
Yes, ma'am. I am in the kitchen. It is brewing, definitely. Yeah. Next project will drop around the fall,
Okay.
2023. This fall. Yeah, it's called "We Did the Damn Thing," and
Oh,
so that
nice.
was the first single off of that upcoming project.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, tell me a bit about your upbringing. It's pretty unique. Now,
Yeah.
you're originally from Ethiopia, and
Yes.
now you are in Canada. You moved to Canada.
Yes.
Tell me what that transition was like for you on a personal level, and how did it help mold you as an artist?
Mm. Well, I was born in Ethiopia. My mom immigrated to Canada when I was like 3 years old. So I
Hmm.
don't, as I grew up mostly in Canada and Montreal.
Okay.
However, my mom, she's super religious. She's super, if Ethiopians are very, what I mean, in tune with the culture, right? So she really, fostered like she would speak to me in Amharic. That's the national language
Okay.
of Ethiopia at home, right? So
Okay.
now I'm fluent in Amharic, obviously English and French. She would play a lot of Ethiopian spirituals, Ethiopian jazz,
Mm.
and country music too. Yeah, side
Hey.
note. Yeah,
Okay. Hey, you
side.
know what? Great storytelling. You know.
You know what? That's what I always say. Absolutely, definitely, great storytelling. Yeah, so the Ethiopian influence and it just um brews itself in me unknowingly. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
part of who I am. It's part of my DNA. It's where I come from.
Yes.
Um, but also, I'm in this other new world,
Hmm.
um, where it's like, I'm super proud to be Canadian, but also you always kind of seem like the other, right? I'm
Yes.
still immigrant. I'm still this, and when I go back to Ethiopia, I'm also the other as well. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so it's like, finding your place and finding your space, but it allows and it just I don't know, man. I feel like it creates like these they call us the third culture kids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
It just brews like I don't know, man. It's like a culture, it forms a culture in itself.
In itself.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
does. It does. So it's like, yeah, it's nice to not fit in certain boxes.
absolutely.
It kind of gives you the freedom, I would think, to create the way you do. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
there's freedom. There's freedom without being in those boxes. Now, who were your biggest influences as a child? Who made you say, I'm going to do that? I'm going to rap. I'm going to, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Like I said, I grew up on some like eclectic music, right? So I not discovered, but I fell in love with rap and hip hop with Lauryn Hill.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
The queen.
Yeah. So she made me fall in love with rap and hip hop and Tupac as well. So it was kind of like those two, right? But really
great storytellers, great poets. Seriously.
The artistry is unparalleled.
Yes.
And when I look at Lauryn, I see Lauryn as an artist. I don't see her as like a female rapper, a female, you know what I mean? So I feel like that was the first example that I saw, like, okay, this is artistry beyond everything that that's been right.
Right.
So yeah, those are the key people. Then Lisa Left Eye Lopez,
of course. Of course. Yeah, she was like this wild card. Breath of fresh air, especially during that time. Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's the Gemini. It's the Gemini.
Are you a Gemini?
Absolutely, definitely.
Well, Lauryn Hill's a Gemini. Tupac is a Gemini. Did you know that?
I didn't know Lauryn was a Gemini. I forgot about that. There you go. So like it all comes together.
It all comes together. Yes.
Yeah, I named you all the Geminis, basically.
There are a lot of Geminis in the industry. A lot of really, really talented people, prints and everything. So now there is a blend of sound because of all the different genres that you've mentioned and influences, and like you're creating this stew, right? So what adjective would you use to create your sound? Just one.
What adjective to create my sound?
Yeah, what adjective would you use, not to create your sound? What adjective would you use to define your sound?
Oh man, that is a difficult question. Just for one.
You're a Gemini and you're creative. I know you can come up with an answer.
I know, but that's exactly the reason. I have like 20,000 different ideas. You know what I mean?
All right. Okay. Maybe not just one. Give me like 2 or 3. I know it's hard to kind of nail it down.
I'd say, first of all, it's freedom for me. It allowed me to free myself. It allowed me to free my life, right? It allowed me to realize that I had freedom, actually. You know what I mean? Right. So for that to be sort of like a testimony for people, for the listeners, and I want to give more light into the world. So just giving light, right?
Okay.
But also not living in the, picture perfect positivity either. So like I said, as a Gemini, there's the duality, there's the yin and the yang. So just for me, it's all about balance as well. So coming into this industry as well, so I feel like my music, what I gives a sort of balance as well to what's out there, right?
Okay.
To complement what's out there. Because I don't, like you said, like I don't really see anybody kind of like me, you know what I mean? Talking about the things that I talk about or in the style that I do.
And that's what's so great about, your other albums, your other projects, because you had an album and an EP, I saw, yes? The titles, the album was what? Godspeed Baptism, and then there was Higher Self. I mean, that speaks volumes to someone who is very conscious, very mindful. So that makes sense, everything that you're saying, to provide balance, to provide light. And because there is no one out here like you, and you're able to bring this stew of sound and energy, that's what a gift to give the world.
Thank you. I mean, it's a process, you know what I mean? It's like, it took me time to find my sound, to find myself, to become the person that I am, to be able to be, this mindful and be able to create the music that I create.
Now, are there any daily practices that you do in order to remain mindful, or is it just something it just comes naturally?
No, does not come naturally. No, absolutely not. It's a process. It's like, for me, I view it as, losing your balance, realizing that you lost your balance, get it back. You know what I mean? So you come in and off balance, and I think that's life, right? You're not always gonna be
Yeah.
balanced out at the same, you know what I mean? It's just there's ups and downs, but it's to be mindful, right?
Mm.
To not just be in the automatic life, you know what I
Like an
mean?
autopilot kind
Like,
of.
yeah, exactly. The autopilot ways, just to be mindful of your breath, to be thankful for your body, for the health, for, you know what I mean? When I'm like, I feel like I'm, when it's a lot, there's a lot of pressure. I'm just like, hey, wait, I get to do what I love to do every single day, and I wake up, and that is truly a blessing, and I'm healthy. So, you know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
mindful and thankful. That's my daily
That's your daily practice, your
yeah,
gratitude. Excellent.
gratitude. Absolutely.
Now you took a break. You did take a break for a little while.
I did.
Um, Now what made you want to step back? Was it personal? Was it like an industry situation?
Oh
Did you just
yeah.
feel like go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. It was I took a break to
Mm.
focus on school because
Oh, okay. Yes,
yeah,
I did see that.
yeah.
Yes.
And at that time I didn't find myself. I didn't find my music, I didn't find my sound. So it was
Mm-hmm.
still a hobby, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
still something on the side that I myself was not 100% confident in.
Mm-hmm.
And, growing up in like an African household, immigrant parents, the arts is not really a path that you would suggest, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so I'm like, it instilled like the ideologies that was instilled in me. It was like, okay, you got to go to school, you got to go to university, you got to get a good job.
Good parents. A lot of good parents do. They're good parents. They don't
Yeah,
know. They want the
they don't
best.
know. I mean, it's a different mindset too, because they came.
Mm-hmm.
What was my mom? My mom came to this country with
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice, right? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's a different mindset. For her, it's the opportunity that she gave us, and it would be a waste if I would go into the arts, right?
Right.
And it
Right.
didn't work out for me. I
But
think
it is working out for you.
definitely, absolutely. Absolutely. Damn, I went on a tangent. What was I saying before that?
That
Um,
that's fine. It's totally fine because we're here now, and that's all that
yeah,
matters.
there you
So, what
go.
did you go to school? What did you go to school for?
Yeah, I went to school. I had two diplomas. One in public policy affairs and a minor in Spanish, and as well as public relations.
Wow, public relations.
Yeah, yeah.
How does your public relations degree help you in your artistry as far as the business aspect of it?
Definitely, absolutely.
I would think so. Yeah. How does
Yeah,
it do
yeah, absolutely. For me, like that, the package is, and the way that you communicate it is as
that?
important as the actual product, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's something I'm very mindful of, be with my videos, the way that, I present myself, I talk to people, is just the networking, the importance of relationships. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond just networking and meeting people, is the relationships that you build, the genuine relationships. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true. It's true because I mean, I know as cliche as it sounds, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And
absolutely,
you can burn a bridge without even realizing it,
absolutely,
and
absolutely,
people will keep moving.
definitely, definitely.
Now, every artist has a definitive moment in their life
Mm.
where they say, like you said, you were not sure. So
Mm-hmm.
you went back to school, you did what you needed to do, and then you came back. What
I
was your
did.
definitive moment that made you say, you know what, I'm all in. I'm going back to the game. I'm all in. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said too. That's so hilarious. So basically, I went to school, I got the job, I was working a 9 to 5 in marketing.
Mm.
I was working at that for like 2, 3 years, right?
Oh, how
And
you didn't like it? You didn't
no,
like?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
There's too much of this creative, this, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And imagine me, like
Nine to five, no.
I would have these crazy ideas too. Anyway, that's another story. But so I really working at that 9 to 5, like, I feel like it was slowly chipping away at my spirit.
Yeah.
So I went back to music as a form of therapy.
Hmm.
Unknowingly, you know what I mean? It's not like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go back. No, I needed to express myself. I needed therapy, right? And I realized the more, 2, 3 years later, like I was doing that, and I was slowly honing my craft unknowingly, and it was
Mm,
just better and better, and I organically found my sound.
mm,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah. So then I was at my job, and I was just like, every day I remember this very vividly too. Like, it was not long ago, it was like 4 years ago. I would look outside the window, and it was like a view on a highway. It's like the most depressing thing. And then I would just see all the cars, and I would just picture myself, this can't be it for the next 25, 30 years.
Right.
This can't be it. I need to go all in on myself. I need to bet on myself. Because I always, even in college, like, I was an entrepreneur, like I was super involved in tech and stuff, and the startups culture, right? And like
Right.
entrepreneurial stuff. And I'm just like, I have that same energy, and I have that same drive. And I always looked for that $1 million idea, that
Mm-hmm.
$1 million app, that $1 million this. But I'm like, what if that $1 million idea is myself? What if I invest that same energy and went hard in myself? Let me roll the dice and place the bet on myself, and let's
Mm-hmm.
see where that goes. And that was a defining day in 2017 on my
Oh,
birthday. I didn't
I,
celebrate my birthday at that time. I told myself, in 1 year, I'm going to change my life. It was 2018. In 1 year, I'm going to change my life. And
wow.
my life in 1 year.
Now, how did you cope with the pandemic that we're finally
Jeez.
on the other side of, like as
Uh,
an artist? And
yeah, it was, yeah, absolutely. It was, it was something, right? It
mm,
was something for a lot of people too.
yeah.
Um, in the industry, it was definitely a pause. Um, here, I actually released the first album, Godspeed Baptism, during
During
the
the
pandemic.
during the
Yeah,
pandemic.
during the pandemic. Yeah. And it was crazy because it was lined up. I was supposed to go to South by Southwest to have the launch. There I had like shows in Europe. Everything
Mhm.
was like set for that year to be the year. And then boom, the pandemic hit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know what? I
Yeah.
mean, it didn't stop you. It didn't stop.
Absolutely
It
not.
didn't slow you
No,
down.
absolutely not. No,
No.
absolutely not. I mean, I looked at it as like, I always say, trust the process, and let's see, just put your trust in the universe and in God. And it's like, I felt like at that moment, it's like, oh yeah, really? Let me let me
All
test
right.
it. All right, like,
Okay.
exactly. So I had to take that piece of humble pie and really get back into myself and just have that acceptance of things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it allowed me to create the second part to that album, Godspeed Elevated.
Elevated. I have to now. I'm gonna have to listen. See,
Oh
because
yeah,
I've been listening to I listened to your brand new, the new single, and I was
yeah,
listening to some other songs,
yeah.
but I didn't hear that one.
Oh
So now
yeah,
I have
Godspeed
to go back.
Elevated. That's the album that won Album of the Year here where I'm from.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I saw that. You are award winning too. Yes, amazing.
Exact. Thank you. Thank you. And with that, everything came how it's supposed to come. I went
Yeah,
on tour last summer in Europe. I did the South by South. I did everything that I was supposed to do in 2020 last year. So
it
it
panned out.
it panned out, you know what I mean? It
It
panned out.
panned out. It
There
worked
was no
out the way it was supposed to do.
exactly.
Yeah,
Didn't have to stress. But
excellent.
yeah.
So, I mean, are we gonna get a video? I want. I'm like, I want to. Are we gonna get a video?
Yeah, well, I put out a visualizer. I'm doing
Yes.
these little visualizers now. I did one for More Life Less Names. Yeah, yeah. So we're all focused on like the more short form content. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely getting the visualizers in for sure.
Excellent. So, what if you were to pivot? I mean, would you see yourself doing anything else other than music? I mean, would you see yourself doing more like video production? Would you see yourself doing acting?
Oh yeah, I mean it's crazy because one of my first loves is film.
Hmm.
Here in Canada and Quebec, we have like, before going to university, you go to like pre-college. This is kind of like a pre-college thing.
Mhm.
And I studied film. there.
Excellent. Well, see, exactly. See, I do. I see something. I see you just doing like, not that you're not doing enough because you're doing plenty, but I just see you in so many different facets. You just strike me as a very multifaceted person. So
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
that'd be
thank you.
great.
Yeah, you see right through me, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did start. I didn't start, but I dabbled in my first acting thing gig in like a couple of years ago
Oh, okay.
on a web series. But here it's in French, but it's definitely something I want to explore more. The acting side, the film side, the production side, for sure. Like
Excellent.
I love visuals. I love storytelling. Yeah.
I can see it. I see it all for you. Well, Miss, I tell you, I really appreciate you coming through this evening and giving the bigger picture of this interview. As you know, I'm also the editor in chief of Urban Magazine, and
Yes.
my partner, he has had wonderful things to say about you. So I was very excited for tonight.
Oh, blessing. Ben, thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Yes,
Appreciate it.
yes.
Thank you for your
So
time.
again, to everybody, that's More Life, Less Names, and it's going to be off her upcoming project, which is coming out this fall. It's going to be We Did the Damn Thing. All
Okay, let's
right.
go.
You
Let's
know what I'm
go.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you again. All right. Stay
Thank you.
blessed, be well. And again, everyone, you can get her single as well as her other music projects off of all streaming platforms. All right. Thank you so much, my love.
Bless.
Have a
Thank
good
you so
night.
much. You too. Bye bye.
Bye.